Yo, what's good, fam? It's your boy, Matt Diazable, coming at you with a new album review. And today I am checking out the latest Body Count album, Merciless. I'm sure you've heard of this band, but if you haven't heard of them, they are a thrash slash metal band based out of Los Angeles and fronted by one of the biggest and most famous rappers of all time, Ice T. And they were they got their big, I guess, breakout moment back in the early 90s when they made a song called Cop Unaliver. Yeah, that's gonna stir the pot a lot. And yeah, they're very, you could say, anti-establishment and just kind of like, against authority in a lot of sense in their music and just their overall theme. And with this latest album, I gotta say the music is pretty heavy. The lyrics are just as heavy, but I will say at times it can be a little bit cheesy, but they get their point across. This old school metal band can definitely keep up with the young bucks of the current metal scene because they're out here making some heavy songs that they rip pretty hard. I was thoroughly surprised that this new Bodycount album can go so hard, and this is my actual first time listening to a full Bodycount album. I've heard some songs here and there, but never sat down and listened to them. So I was pretty impressed at what was made here. Whether it's heavy riffs or just very depressingly heavy lyrics, these guys can still pull off some decently heavy music going on, what, 2, 3, almost 4 decades into their career. Quite impressive. I would say the one thing that really stuck out to me for this album was the guitar work here. It has a very modern feel to it with how crunchy, groovy, and technical they can be throughout the album. Like on Purge, Psychopath, and Drug Lords, the riffs are heavy, they're groovy, and they got a really slick feel to them that just, helps the album pop a little bit. So I want to play a clip of Psychopath for you so you get a sense of that groovy, heavy riffs they have on this album. Pretty good riffs, right? However, I will say that the riffs at times can feel a little bit flat, like on the songs Up What You Heard, Do or Die, or World War. The riffs just get a bit too tamed, I feel like. And I think this record and this band works so much better when things are faster and they're just going at like a faster tempo and they're just ripping and going hard. The slower songs, they kind of throw off the groove of the album a bit. The drumming on this album, for the most part, is pretty mild and simple. They do have some dynamic moments and some cool like drum fills, like on Live Forever and I think what's the song, The Purge. There's some good drumming here, but overall, they're not doing anything too flashy. But I will say on the song Do or Die, it's kind of impressive how like the snare drum, they add some like gunshot noises to it. So that makes it a pretty exciting song to listen to just because it has a very, very unique and distinctive sound. So I'll play a clip of that song, Do or Die, for you so you can hear those snare pops. Pretty cool, right? So again, I would say the drums overall, they're not doing anything too crazy, but they're keeping things simple and keeping the band on pace. They're doing their job. The bass playing on this album, similar to the drums, is more subdued, very subtle. It's not like it can't be heard, but it's not doing anything too heavy. But I will say on the song Mic Contract, it's a little bit thicker there, and it really helps his vocals on that track. So overall, pretty subtle bass. Couple tracks here where it's good, but yeah, nothing too bad or too memorable at the same time. And speaking on vocals, the frontman Ice-T himself, he sounds good for throughout this album. Like his vocals, his performances, pretty good. I think they did a really good job of finding some good features for this album because Corpse Grinder, Max Calvaral, and Howard Jones, all of them, they do a really good job of sounding good, and they fit them into the songs really good, especially on Psychopath and Drug Lords with Max and Corpse Grinder. They sound like they're part of the band. Like it just was a perfect fit. So I really wanted to play Drug Lords for you, so you can get a sense of just how tightly, like, a unit they sound with these guest vocals. Max just sounds so good on this track. I gotta say, like, the guest vocals, they really do a good job of commanding the songs when they're on the tracks. However, I will say Howard Jones's clean singing on his track is the only time where it doesn't really fit that well. His unclean vocals sound really good, but his clean vocals, they feel a little bit muddled, and I think that's more of a production issue than him. The main man himself, Ice-T, he definitely sounds like he's got a lot of piss and vigor to him, especially on the songs Psychopath, Forever, and Comfortably Numb. He just sounds so pissed in a great way in these songs. I will say his soft talking at times kind of slows down the album, but I think, you know, it's done with a real sense of purpose, because he's trying to come in very clear and crisp and really get his message across. Those points he's trying to get across, you know, at times they can be a little bit cheesy, like on Fuck What You Heard and Merciless, but other times he's talking about some really super depressing things, like, you know, just the state of the world, racial tensions, people's mental state and everything. Like, I was thoroughly surprised by some of these lyrics that, you know, he's really trying to speak from the heart and just, you know, I won't say help people. Yeah, he's trying to help people out with everything that's going on, because it's a rough time right now. So I was surprised by these lyrics. The songs on this album can be a bit plain at times in their execution, but when they're not plain, they have a really heavy sound to it, a really deep message. I was very surprised by how, you know, this 30-year-old metal band can still sound and be kind of relevant at times. So I was very impressed by that. So got to give it up to the guys in Bodycount. They did a pretty good job with this album. There were some missteps here and there, but overall, I think it's still a very doable and enjoyable album. So I would give this latest Bodycount album, Merciless, a nice, decent, and solid 7.5 out of 10. Really a surprisingly good album, I think, that you should check out. So links down below. Check them out. Like, subscribe, and comment. And like always, see you in the pit.